How can I possibly put into words the experiences I have had in Guatemala thanks to my brother Cordell? The first time I went was when I was only 14, and then I went back a few summers when I was in college to spend more time, and through the years have seen the change that my brother set out to do when I was very young. His goal long ago was to bring change to a people that couldn't understand living on a higher spiritual plane that he was preaching as a missionary, because they didn't understand simple nutrition and sanitation and were experiencing a 50% mortality rate. Half of their children died by the time before they were 5 years old. He decided he would go back and dedicate his life to teaching them the simple principles that would change their lives and the lives of their future generations. My life was forever affected by the sharp contrast I saw there compared to what I was used to at home, but also within the country of Guatemala. The poor Indians would never see a different life or know a better life without the help of someone who was dedicated to seeing their lives change. Cordell didn't just provide a way and do it for them. He actually taught them how to do it for themselves. He learned and worked hard to earn their trust, being mistaken for some kind of witch doctor initially, by saving their children's lives and then teaching them nutrition, planting new crops, starting a dairy, and then starting schools, and helping them earn the money to have a house with a real floor instead of a mud floor with a thatched roof that was filthy and dark. I watched one little child named Chapina, who was literally starving, brought across the mountains by her mother, and I thought she would die. But saw her again years later on a future trip, all grown up, healthy and happy and living a productive life when she was 23 years old. This trip that we just went on, we visited with her again, and we cried when we saw each other and hugged like we were long-lost sisters. We brought clothes for her to sell in her little store, and she gave me one of her needlepoint pieces as a token of her love for me. I was so very touched to see my children, Danielle, 19, and Kelly, almost 17, as their hearts were both touched by the children's love and broken by the clear evidence that they needed so much more. It was evident to them and to Bronson, my nephew, how in need they were and how long it had been since someone had visited the school. They were so proud of their bright, clean schools, and we were so impressed with the teachers who ate lunch with us and spent the rest of the day taking us into the homes of some of the poorest families. The director and teachers have literally been able to take over and continue all the programs that Cordell started while he was there so many years. What hit me was that some of the older children literally were raising their little brothers and sisters while their parents worked, and maybe only one of their siblings was lucky enough to go to the school. One person in a family of 10 gaining an education and a desire to help their family is enough to change a family's life cycle forever. That hasn't changed in generations. It takes so little to create so much change. If we could all experience what my family did while we were there and give just a little, it would positively change so many people's lives. It's not always about giving them money. It's about teaching them so they can earn their own way, but that requires money. To see one of our favorite of all the professors and learn that he had gone to the school himself when he was small and now teaches there is very inspiring. Others have gone on to become doctors and lawyers and other professions to help their people. Countless lives have been affected, but they need so much more help to continue the effort started over 40 years ago by my brother with the unlimited support of my father, Ariel Anderson, who the schools are named after. I do believe that everyone wants to find a worthy cause and needs to know that their contribution is going a long way in providing help for those in need. But the problem is there are a lot of choices these days, and many organizations are not using every dollar in the best way possible. We saw firsthand hard-working, dedicated Guatemalans teaching their own to be able to have a better life, and it was definitely the most incredible journey in my life to be able to be reminded of what is most important is giving and loving others, not in attaining personal possessions. We can all spare something, and we would all reap the rewards and fulfillment of knowing that we have changed someone's life and future forever.